Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to align further with your higher self and ultimately create the life that you desire. As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the overall energy for the reading and clarified those messages, which we'll jump into in just a second. I do actually, this week, I got a new oracle deck, and so I'm going to go ahead and pull like an overall theme for the reading just to kind of start using this deck. I have the tarot deck that I'll be using already shuffled, as well as the decks that I'll be using in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. All right, Capricorn, in your recent past, you have a time for healing with the Eight of Wands in reverse. I feel like your recent past and maybe still kind of a little bit your current energy, things have been very stagnant. I feel like there hasn't been a lot of clarity on like next steps for you, or like just a clear path forward. And I feel like that is specifically in your recent past, that was intentional because you do have a time for healing. So it almost kind of felt like it was a time for closing out kind of past cycles, maybe past relationships or jobs or financial situations or whatever the case is. Focus on the healing aspect so that things can move forward. So I feel like your recent past, though it didn't seem like things were working out, or it didn't seem like things were progressing, I feel like that's going to start to change, because in your current energy, you have expect powerful change with the Hangman. And I was going to take both. So the other card that came out with the Hangman was the Temperance. I was going to take both, but I didn't. I saw the Hangman first. And so what I kind of see with this message, and I'll just kind of read it, including that Temperance card, is you can absolutely expect things to change in a pretty powerful way. But the other thing that's required is letting go and having patience, because the universe needs a little bit of breathing room to work right now. And I feel like it's kind of just, manifesting a life that you desire is a really tricky balance between taking the steps that you need to take, taking your divinely guided actions, and then surrendering the rest and allowing the universe to do its thing, to do for you what you cannot do for yourself. It's a co-creational process, and we have to learn, there are certain steps that we can take, and then we have to learn how to let go of what we can't control and give it over to the universe to help us out. So I feel like right now is kind of that balance that you're needing to find. And then in your immediate future, you have believe in the impossible with the Knight of Wands. And so to me, this is about whatever it is that you desire, the life that you desire, the relationships that you desire. I don't mean with specific people, but just the outcomes that you're looking for. Those are absolutely possible, and you should believe in whatever even feels impossible, because sometimes when we're so used to living life a certain way, the feeling of actually being able to have the life that we desire, it can feel impossible. Or if our dreams feel impossible because they're so out there, whatever the case is, we won't take action toward them because, well, we don't believe that they're going to happen. So why would we take action if we don't, if our belief system aligns with it not happening? And so it just kind of feels like everything that has been happening for you in your past and your present, and then eventually in your immediate future is to try to get you to whatever it is that feels impossible for you, that feels, like it is that your soul ultimately desires. Now, the overall theme for the reading, I just really like this deck. You have Break the Chain. It says ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. So I do kind of feel like the overall theme for this reading is breaking out of old cycles and kind of taking leaps into new ones. But I also feel like that's any time that we're trying to reframe our belief system and almost like reprogram ourselves from a place of trauma to a place of healing and progression. It's a process, and it's, there's going to be times where it feels like nothing is happening, but in the manifestation process as a whole, I mean, the quote is, as above, so below, as within, so without. The more healing and shifting that you do within, the more that you will start to see that in your outer environment. But let's start here, Capricorn, by looking at your recent past. You have a time for healing. The Eight of Wands in reverse. Recent past for Capricorn. Recent past for Capricorn, please. I feel like in your recent past, or maybe even further back from your recent past, actually, certain things came to an end here with the death card. Maybe, again, relationships, maybe you lost a job or even quit a job that wasn't serving you, or something came to an end. There was something that that you were needing to kind of close the door on and heal from. But I feel like since this ending took place, it had been really hard for you to believe that anything better was going to come, because with the Nine of Cups in reverse, this is kind of having a tendency to view things from a really from a negative place, with a negative perspective. Now, when we've gone through certain painful experiences in our life, it makes perfect sense that you're going to expect that bad things are going to continue to happen, or that, you know, if you are in a bad relationship, you're going to believe all relationships are going to be bad, or whatever the case is. So sometimes the universe, before the universe can bring us what it is that we desire, we have to heal from what we've been through in order to then create what it is that we want. And I feel like that's a lot of what your recent past was about. Now, to you, it kind of, I feel like, just kind of felt crappy. I feel like you felt really withdrawn from your reality. I feel like you started to really doubt yourself and doubt what it is that you were going to be able to have here. But I also feel like whether or not you realized it, all of that was happening for a reason. Like, that time period in your life was happening for a reason. Reset past for Capricorn, please. Reset past for Capricorn, please. The King of Cups in reverse with the Five of Pentacles. So there was absolutely some loss that occurred here in your past. But in association with this loss is some mistreatment. So whatever it was that was lost was associated with kind of emotional mistreatment. And that could be in the form of a relationship, or, you know, maybe a boss at work, or, I mean, it can be anything. But I feel like the loss associated with this mistreatment was pretty necessary. Now, it might not have felt like that at the time, but there's some sort of cycle with the world here that you were trapped in. Now, remember, the overall kind of theme for your reading is break the chain, which to me is kind of, you know, referring to this cycle that's coming up in your recent past. And so there's something that wasn't treating you well, that you weren't necessarily happy in, but maybe you felt like it could be better, so that's why you were investing in it. Or I don't know, you know, people invest in things that don't serve them or don't treat them well for all kinds of different reasons. And I feel like this reading is kind of about getting to the bottom of that reason, so that you can heal it and not repeat that cycle. Recent past for Capricorn. Recent past for Capricorn, please. Recent past for Capricorn, please. It's a little bit of control going on. The Emperor in reverse and Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So some control going on. So trying to control what you can't control. We've all been there. So I absolutely get it. And I feel like that's what this situation was. Like, it wasn't serving you, it wasn't making you happy, it wasn't treating you well, but you were investing in it out of the hopes that things would change, that things outside of your control would change. So whether that be people or a situation or an outcome or whatever the case was, we have to remember never to invest in something for the hope of what it could be. We have to make sure that we are being honest with ourselves about what something is in the moment, so that whatever we're investing in and giving energy to, because whatever you invest in and you give your energy to is going to be what expands. So if you're giving your energy to situations that mistreat you, you in a backwards way are attracting more of that same energy. Now, this is not me to say that whatever happened in your recent past is your fault. There are reasons why we attract certain people and situations in our life, and those reasons become obvious whenever we start to heal from them. And, ultimately when we're able to move forward, we can always look back and say, okay, although I wouldn't want to go through that again, I can see why things had to happen the way that they did. And I feel like that's kind of what this reading is kind of talking about moving forward. So current energy for Capricorn, clarifying, expect powerful change with the Hangman. Current energy for Capricorn, clarifying, expect powerful change with the Hangman. One more. Current energy for Capricorn, please. Five of Swords, Nine of Pentacles in reverse, and the World. Okay, so your past was painful. And it's been really hard to move forward from that. And I get that. I do. I feel like, sometimes we don't realize that a cycle doesn't actually end when the situation ends. It actually ends when we make a different choice the next time that we're given a very similar option. That's when we break a cycle. Or if we make the choice to kind of walk away, or whatever the case is. The cycle ends when the lessons are learned and applied. And so what I mean by that, and what I'm saying with that, is that sometimes the cycles that we think end with a relationship or with something that happened in the past are actually still carrying over into our current energy, because there's still things that we need to learn from them. So I do feel like with the World here, you're kind of in this energy of coming to the end of closing out a cycle. And the closer you get to the end of the cycle, the harder things are, because it's going to be heavier. It's going to be more emotional. Things are going to seem even more unclear. It's when everything kind of comes up at once. And so the lessons that you learned throughout the cycle kind of all hit you at once. Now, right now, you're in this Five of Swords energy. I feel like because of what happened in your past, maybe you're having a little bit of a hard time to have, when it comes to having faith in the universe, faith that what it is that you desire is ever going to appear, that you're ever going to have what it is that you want and deserve. And so it's got you a little bit in survival mode. Could be going, leaning on bad habits to get you through, or just kind of trying to get by is what your current energy kind of feels like. And again, it kind of feels like it's carrying over from this past energy, from whatever happened in your past energy. And I mean, no one can blame you for that. When we go through really painful situations, sometimes we, kind of do have a tendency to fall into that energy of like, oh, I don't trust the universe. The universe doesn't have my back. Why would the universe put me through that? If the universe cared about me, I wouldn't have to hurt like the way that I did. And trust me, I've absolutely been there. But the universe is asking you to believe that everything is happening for a reason, as much as you can, even if it's difficult to see and feel that way. Current energy for Capricorn, please. Current energy for Capricorn, please. Current energy for Capricorn, please. The Eight of Swords. And then there's the Hangman, which is the same Hangman as we have right here, right? That we kind of started this with. So it's kind of affirming a little bit of the message I already had and then adding on to it. Because of how things unfolded for you in the past, you now are really stuck in limiting beliefs in terms of what can happen for you in the future, which is making it really hard to let go and to trust the universe, because maybe you tried that. Maybe you did try to put your faith in something and things ended up kind of stabbing you in the back, or, ended up, hurting you instead of being a good thing in your life. And when that's the case, we can, again, kind of get in our own head about what we've been through, and start to believe that what we've experienced is all there is. Especially if we've experienced certain situations for a lengthy period of time, then of course you're going to believe a certain way. But breaking out of those limiting beliefs is learning, and that's why the healing part is so important, because the more that we heal from what happened, the more that we can understand why it had to happen the way that we did, and we can learn the lessons behind it and move forward with the confidence in knowing that that cycle and that pain isn't going to repeat itself, because we've learned what we needed to. We're closing the door on it, and we know that next time, if we're ever faced with that situation again, we're going to make different choices because we've learned and we've grown and we've evolved. But I feel like right now you're kind of in this protective, me against the world kind of mentality, and it makes a lot of sense just kind of given what your recent past looked like. But I also feel like the universe is really asking you, spirit is really asking you to let go of the wheel, to try to trust and let that trust turn into gratitude for what you can't see yet, because there is a new beginning for you. And yes, it might feel impossible, but you also have believe in the impossible here. So understand that there's a lot more going on here than you might be able to see right now, and that things are happening for you in the bigger picture, no matter how it feels. Now, it doesn't mean that the way that you feel isn't valid. Feel the way that you need to feel, process through those feelings, but try to have in the back of your mind the hope that things really are working out for you in the bigger picture. Current energy for Capricorn. Slowly but surely. Knight of Pentacles to the full in reverse. You are slowly but surely heading towards this new beginning, but with it in reverse, it's one that it's having a bit of a hard time manifesting. And I feel like that's because of the limiting beliefs, right? I kind of talked about this in the very beginning when I said, if you believe that something is impossible, you're not going to take the action toward it. Now, we have to remember that 95% of our movements, choices, and decisions stem from our subconscious. 95% of the way that we interact with our reality comes from our subconscious patterns and subconscious beliefs. And so, if we believe that something isn't possible for us, so that we're never going to have what we desire, 95% of us is going to act in alignment with that belief, which is, unfortunately, the majority of you. So, when you're trying to change your reality, and you're trying to change your experiences, and you're trying to, shift from, transmuting the bad stuff into the good stuff, and you're trying to do all these things that are necessary in order to move forward, you have to remember that it starts from within. And it starts with the way that you think, speak, and believe about your reality. If you constantly are thinking and speaking about your current reality and your future reality from a place of a negative, then you are going to experience more of that negative into your reality, because 95% of you is listening to everything you think, everything you speak, and is gathering that information and using it as a way to then respond to your reality. And so this new beginning wants to manifest for you. Good things want to come for you. But you gotta believe them, because I don't think, Capricorn, I ultimately think that there's a big part of you here that doesn't believe that doesn't believe that good things, that better days, that happier experiences, that getting back what you lost, or that having whatever it is that you've experienced is possible. And when I say getting back what you lost, I don't necessarily mean an ex, right? But the love and the happiness that you once experienced in your past, or the feelings that you once had associated with whatever it was that came to an end, those can return. And I feel like there's this feeling that things are just like kind of crappy and are going to be crappy moving forward. And maybe it's not all of you that thinks that way, but maybe there's a big part of you that does. And it's understandable why. But you also have more control over your reality than you think you do in this present moment. All right, immediate future for Capricorn, clarifying believe in the impossible with the Knight of Wands. Immediate future for Capricorn, clarifying, believe in the impossible with the Knight of Wands. Immediate future for Capricorn. Four of Swords, Queen of Cups, and the Star. Okay. This is one thing I really like to talk about when I talk about manifestation. Because one of the most important aspects of manifestation that a lot of people miss is the fact that you have to focus on what you want to feel. It's not so much about what you want to happen. It's more about what you want to experience, how you want these experiences to make you feel. You want to feel happy and loved and successful and abundant and supported and respected and whatever the case is, right? That's what we ultimately look for in the experiences, and the outcomes that we want are whatever it is that we want to feel. Capricorn, this is about you doing a little bit of soul searching here on what it is that you want to feel, what it is that you want to experience in your day-to-day life. And I don't mean the big things, right? I'm not talking about the big experiences that you want to have. I mean, on a day-to-day, how do you want to feel? You want to wake up every day excited about your life, excited about the day ahead, excited to pursue the passion that you have or to be in the relationships that you are. And I feel like you're missing that and have been missing that. And I feel like this is about getting it back and making sure that you tap into that level of what do you want to feel. And when you start to uncover whatever it is that you want to feel, you then start to align your life with those feelings, because you start realizing that if there's anything in your life that doesn't make you feel the way that you want to feel, then that is out of alignment with you. That means if you are not feeling the way that you want to feel every single day, then you are not in alignment with the life that you truly desire. In order to create the outcomes that you desire, you have to feel it today. There's a reason why all of the kind of spiritual teachers and gurus and even psychologists speak from a place of, if you want to experience a happier future, you have to find happiness in the day-to-day experience today. Now, that was funny. I didn't expect it to come out that way. That is the only way to break cycles. And I saw this post. It was like, if you want things to change, but you're doing the same things every single day, and you're making the same choices, and you're talking to the same people, and you're investing in the same relationships, nothing's ever going to change. You have the power to change by making the decisions of, does this align with the happiness and the health and the experience that I want to have? And if the answer is no, then you have to be unapologetic about knowing what it is that you want to experience and only investing your time and your energy into those things that create your experience. Now, is happiness the ultimate goal of life? No, I'm not sitting here saying that this needs to be completely a journey of only looking out for yourself and making sure that you are taken care of. But at the end of the day, you can only show up in this world as you are supposed to, in a way that will fulfill you the most. And ultimately, you are here for a certain purpose. You're here to walk a specific path. And if you want to experience the things that align the most with your soul, you have to be the one to choose the path to get there. It's not just going to unfold for you. For the longest time, I was really confused about the concept of manifestation. Oh, I want it, it appears. I want it, the universe brings it to me. And that's actually not the way that it goes. The universe does not bring you what it is that you desire. The universe brings you what it is that you believe. The universe brings you who you are. Whatever you believe about your reality and how you choose to spend your time is going to be more of what you experience in your reality. And those are hard truths that people don't want to hear about manifestation. They want to hear that it's magic and you do these certain rituals and you say these certain affirmations and everything will work out for you. And sure, rituals and affirmations and all of those things are fantastic tools to help you shift your belief system. It starts with the way that you believe and how you then use those beliefs to create the reality that you desire. And yes, you have to have a hand in that too. Immediate future for Capricorn. You don't have a very good mindset surrounding receiving, Capricorn. I feel like you've experienced a lot of loss or a lot of lack. And I feel like the loss and the lack that you've experienced has you believing that you're never going to receive. And in your immediate future, it's about working through that. Manifestation is not magic. It's psychology. It's learning that, yes, and the universe is a magical place and the spirit is guiding you every step of the way. Like, yes, there is a magical component to it, but it isn't at its core magic. You know, the basic of the law of attraction is that your thoughts become your beliefs, become your reality, become your actions, become your reality. If you think it, you will act on it and it will become true. So the way that you think about your reality and the way that you're constantly telling yourself what's going to happen and how things are going to go and what is and what isn't possible, that is affecting your ability to receive what it is that you desire. Pay attention to your thoughts. And no, you can't pay attention to every single thought that you have. But you do have to pay attention to your thoughts and make sure that your thoughts are not affecting you, your ability to receive. All right, immediate future for Capricorn. Because your current mindset is heavily affecting you. And maybe you're working on changing it. If you are, that's fantastic. Just know that it is playing a role. And if you don't change the way that you think about your reality, nothing will ever change. Immediate future for Capricorn. The other thing, Capricorn, is that you're really, oh, that's funny. The Hangman and the Temperance came out right here. You're really not used to choosing yourself. You're not used to putting yourself first. You're not used to choosing what's best for you. I feel like you're super used to choosing what's best for everybody else around you, or choosing what other people expect of you, or choosing or having other people make your choices or decisions for you, or feeling obligated to sacrifice your worth or sacrifice aspects of yourself in order to do the right thing or have what it is that you desire. And that will never get you what it is that you desire. If you are not putting yourself first in every single aspect, you will not be in alignment with the life that you are meant to be living and ultimately desire and are deserving of. And so there's a need to, because the more that you put yourself first and the more that you give that love and that time and that attention to yourself, the more you're going to be able to show up in this world for everybody else around you. If you do not put yourself first, you will drain your cup. You will have an empty cup and you will continue to try to pour into your life from a place of an empty cup, and you'll be burnt out and you'll be angry and you'll be emotional and you'll be exhausted and you won't have anything left to give. So the reason that it's so important that we learn to put ourselves first is because no, happiness isn't the ultimate goal. No, fulfillment shouldn't be your only focus, right? But the more that you put yourself first and choose your happiness, the more that you can show up as the person that everybody else needs you to be too. So it goes a little bit deeper, because I oftentimes get comments on my channel of like, well, putting yourself first is selfish. No, it's not. It's actually absolutely the opposite. Sure, there are times where other people's needs are going to come first, and you should always give out love freely and so on and so forth. But when it comes to where you invest your time and your energy and what you give yourself to, you should be giving yourself to things, majority at least, that give back to you and that ultimately serve you too. You deserve to receive too. You deserve to be happy too, Capricorn. Your sole purpose here isn't to make everyone else around you happy. Your sole purpose isn't to fulfill everybody around you and to help and heal everybody, around you, or to fulfill other people's expectations. Your purpose here is to align with the love and that you have for yourself. Find that love for yourself, align with it, and choose situations that only align with that, because that is how you will show up for this world in the way that you are supposed to, and ultimately will make you and everybody else around you the happiest. All right, I'm going to hop on over to the extended. We're going to look at what you need to do right now in order to move forward. in alignment with your higher self and ultimately create the life that you desire. So we're going to dive deeper into these messages, pull some advice, and then I have an actual advice card to pull at the very end. Thank you so much, Capricorn, as always, for your support of my channel. I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, Capricorn, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. Bye, Capricorn.